the forest? What the hell is this?
Hey, what's up YouTube and you Devil May Cry fans? I've got an interesting video for you guys today. A new trailer for Season 2 of the DMC Netflix show dropped and I thought it was actually pretty good. And it's releasing in about 3 weeks from now. And I just want to note that I am a big fan of Devil May Cry. I have played all the games, platinumed all the games except the reboot. I have read all the novels, I have read all of the manga, and I have also watched the original 2007 DMC show. So it's fair to say that I am a pretty big fan of DMC. I've watched the DMC Netflix show knowing that it was going to be taking place in a new universe and not being canon to the main story. And honestly, in my opinion, I thought they did a good job with the story, the writing, the adaptation, the characters, the dialogue, and the new plot. And I think it's cool to see them introduce the White Rabbit as a main antagonist for Season 1. I do have some criticisms about it, like the power scaling and Lady's dialogue, but the rest of the show was honestly pretty good, I think, in my opinion. And so today, I want to talk about a certain YouTuber I used to watch a bit about a year ago when the show released. His name is Zero, and he made a video about a week ago talking about how the White Rabbit is the worst written character in the show, which I find very confusing, and I'm left with question marks in my head. And I think the White Rabbit is the best written character in the show, and I think anyone can agree that he is the best character in the show, and the best character in Season 1 so far. I've watched Zero for a while during that time, but all I've seen him and DMC fans do nowadays is just constantly hate on the show, and I've always wondered why the show is so overhated. I decided to be quiet about it and keep my own opinions to myself of what I thought about the show, but after seeing Zero's criticisms and takes on the show and the White Rabbit, I just had to make a video about this. I have to make a video. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to go over his video that I have separated in clips that I'm going to go over. I'm going to debunk and disprove some of his points that he makes about why the White Rabbit is poorly written and why his plans are obnoxious and tedious. Before I get started though, I just want to note that I am not making this video to attack or hate on Zero specifically. I just disagree with his points and want to explain to him and the audience of the people watching this video why the White Rabbit makes these plans and why it fits the plot and narrative. And secondly, I am not saying that the show is better than the game's story characters. I'm not saying that. I love the games more than the show. Trust me, I do. I love the characters and story in the main games. But that doesn't mean that the show is bad. I've watched the show and I think, like I said, I think they've done a pretty good job with it. So I just think it's just misunderstood by a lot of people who've watched it. Okay? Alright. So anyway, let's get right into the video and let's start.
I was rewatching the Netflix series with my friend, and I couldn't help but notice so many things about this show that I didn't notice before, and I've come to the realization that the White Rabbit probably is the worst character in the entire Devil May Cry series. So, in the next 20 minutes or so, shut up. So in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to be explaining exactly why that is, why this is one of the worst written characters I've ever seen, in fiction. And why this is the worst character in Devil May Cry. The Force Edge is in this museum. The rabbit wants the Force Edge sword. So what does he do? Right? His plan is hire a team of mercenaries to break into the museum to steal the sword for him. Then break in yourself and follow them. Then kill them all. Take the sword for yourself. And then talk into the body cams of the mercenaries you hired. And then leave a riddle for the government of the United States to find on the chest cams of the people. And then kill everybody and burn the place down and leave. Right, that's his plan. So hire people to steal the sword for you, then go in there and kill them and steal the sword, and then leave a message for the American government on their body cams, and then burn the place down and leave. Another side note, it doesn't really make any sense, is right. We know Virgil is active in this world. He's moving around, he's doing stuff. He's online making plays. Why hasn't Virgil taken the sword?
Since the White Rabbit is planning to open the gates to the demon world, it's also safe to assume that the White Rabbit is also probably working with Mundus. And since we also know that Virgil is probably working with Mundus as well at this point, Mundus has probably given Virgil special orders to do other things or just to let Rabbit deal with the plan to open the gate, maybe. Plus, it's also probably smarter that Virgil doesn't expose himself and keeps his existence unknown to Dante, because Mundus probably doesn't want Dante knowing that Virgil is still alive for the sake of the plot and narrative for Season 2.
That's the plan right now. It's convoluted. It's convoluted. All right. Here's a better plan. You break in, you kill everyone, you take the sword, and you leave a note, and you walk out. Or you could like also talk to the security cameras. I don't even really understand why he even needs to. I guess maybe it's like for like theatrics. Like he's like some supervillain, and he wants to like show the American government and like let them in on what he's doing and like make them feel stupid, right? So okay, let's like suspend our disbelief a little bit and say that's what he wants to do. He could just break in himself, kill everybody, leave a note, take the sword, walk out. It's that easy.
But that is what the White Rabbit literally does. He takes a sword, he kills everyone, and he leaves a message for the government as a warning for what's coming. How is this plan bad? The plan you explained is just a simplified version of what he just did. I'm very confused.
Right. Now, this is like the least egregious one. This one isn't really like that big of a deal, right? But I just wanted to start with this one because one, it's at the beginning of the show, and two, it sets the precedent for the Rabbit does these convoluted, nonsensical, crazy plans when always the solution is to just walk in, do the thing yourself, and walk out, right? And he's just written so horribly. The worst written character in Devil May Cry. The wall that Sparta put up to separate the demon world from the human world. You guys know all about it. You've seen the show, I'm assuming. So the Rabbit needs to get Dante's half of the amulet, right? So what does he try to do? Here's the plan. So he puts demons in an alleyway, right? He gets plasma to shapeshift or do something. In this case, it was turned into a baby to lure a person into the alleyway to get attacked. Once they're being attacked, hope Dante shows up, and then once he's there, improvise and like hope you can take the amulet and just wing it from there. So he tries to do this. It doesn't work. It's nonsensical. Okay, it's a bad plan. Here's a better plan. So we know that at this point in the show, before Dante gets Devil Trigger unlocked for himself, the Rabbit is stronger than him. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to stage demon attacks around the city until Dante shows up to one of them. Because there's multiple demon hunters around the city. Eventually, if we keep staging these demon attacks, Dante will show up to one. We'll just monitor each one, right? He's going to stop the demons. We're going to follow him home. Then we're going to walk in, we're going to kill him, and we're going to take the amulet. It's as easy as that.
Well, there are two problems with this simplified plan you made, Zero. One, the White Rabbit is definitely not strong enough to fight Dante, which is why in the show he actually tries to avoid interacting with Dante. And two, even if the Rabbit was strong enough to fight Dante, he could take the amulet, but if he does kill Dante, he wouldn't be able to open the gate to the demon world, because Rabbit actually needs Dante's blood, and before he can even take his blood, he needs him to awaken Devil Trigger so that his blood can become more demonic and strong enough for it to work and open the gate. So this plan doesn't really work.
Okay. Now to be extra safe, we can show up with all of the other demons like how we did at the toy store. Remember the toy store with adders and there's the shot of the Rabbit there with all of the other evil like demons that he has working under him. We can, if we wanted to be extra sure, we can show up with them. If we do that, Dante will not be able to win because the Rabbit is stronger than him before he gets Devil Trigger, especially the Rabbit and all of the other demons together. That's just extra assurance. So all we have to do, we wait for him to show up for a demon attack. We follow him home. Plasma can shapeshift into people, right? We easily follow him home, find his address, walk in, slaughter him, take the amulet, walk out. It's that easy.
Even if the White Rabbit brought his whole team to fight Dante, Dante would still defeat all the enemies. He definitely would. We know that because Dante literally almost fought the whole team during the highway scene from the show. He defeated literally almost all of them at ease with one by one. And like I said, even if they do kill Dante, killing Dante would just fumble the Rabbit's ultimate goal of opening the gate. Because he needs his blood. He needs him to achieve Devil Trigger. So, again, this plan doesn't work.
VP Baines has his own plan to get this amulet because he wants to get the amulet so that the Rabbit doesn't get it, right? So here's what we're going to do. So here's his plan. We're going to put a $500,000 bounty on Dante's amulet, and we're going to assemble a task force of rival mercenary groups to go to Dante's house and compete with each other to take it, right? And while they do that, we're going to keep an elite team of demon killers on standby because this job requires blunt instruments. That's the reason.
We're a tactical strike force trained for precision demon removal. This mission requires blunt instruments.
Because an elite team trained specifically to stop demons like Dante doesn't have brute force, right? I like what does that even mean? It doesn't even make any sense. Like, it's not a mutually exclusive thing. You can. What does that even mean exactly? Blunt instruments. It sucks. The show sucks.
I don't think Zero understands the whole point of wanting to bring the mercenaries for the job. The vice president doesn't want the government to get involved just yet, and he probably just wants the mercenaries to do it instead. The elite team was just on standby and didn't seem it was necessary to get involved with the mission yet. I mean, the whole point of the mission was just to get the amulet, not kill Dante. The elite team would only get involved if the mission was getting out of hand and the target was getting away. That's why they were on standby, just in case if something went out of hand or something was going wrong.
In the debriefing they have to tell all the mercenaries about the mission and who Dante is and everything, a demon sneaks into the debriefing. I know you guys remember this. It's the cowboy guy. Lady senses he's a demon, right? He sneaks in. He gets front row seats to a debriefing, right, where the vice president, the guy who's leading the attack on the demons and wants all of them eradicated, his primary enemy is right in front of him. He has a gun with him. He doesn't shoot him. Okay. So, okay, cool. Right, maybe he was just here for intel, right? But later, he gets revealed as being a demon, and the first thing he does is immediately try to attack Baines. So he was here to attack Baines. So then why didn't he do it when he had a gun and he was right in front of him?
I'm sorry? When did the White Rabbit ever plan to kill the vice president? When was that ever the rabbit's plan? The rabbit's true goal, which is said in the show, is to open the gate to the demon world by obtaining both amulets and both the twins' awakened blood. Why would the rabbit care about killing the vice president? Why does his death matter? That's not going to stop the government or Darkcom from interfering with him. Even if they did kill him, another person is just going to take his place and be in charge. So it wouldn't matter. That demon was undercover to probably gain information on the vice president and their plans for what they're going to do against the White Rabbit. He only tried to attack him because he got exposed by Lady that he was undercover. If I were a spy, what would you do if you got exposed? What would be your last desperate decision in that moment? Also, by the way, you put the $ in the wrong spot. Here, let me just fix that for you. There we go. That looks better. Okay, continue.
Both these characters are stupid. Horrible. So later on, the rabbit has captured Dante and the entire Darkcom task force, including the vice president, including like the whole team, and just everybody. So from here, to complete the ritual to take down the wall that separates the human and demon world, the rabbit needs a sample of Dante and Virgil's blood combined with the amulet, combined with the Force-Edged sword. Right? So the problem is that Dante's blood needs to be awakened with a Devil Trigger. Like, he needs to go into Devil Trigger, and then a sample of his blood must be collected, right? I don't know the logistics behind it, but like, okay, we'll go with that. So how is the rabbit going to do this? All right, here's the plan. So we're going to capture Dante and all of the other members that were with him from Darkcom, right? We're not going to execute any of them. We're just going to let them live. We're going to get Agni and Rudra on a plane with them to beat up Dante and push him into a stressful enough state to make him unlock his Devil Trigger. And then after that, we're going to have to formulate a new plan to get a sample of his blood. That's the plan. All right. Here's a much better one. So we're going to execute Dante along with everyone else that you captured. None of these people need to be alive. I'll explain in a second. None of these people need to be alive. They can kill them. Kill all of them. They can all die.
You can't be serious, brother. Has he not paid attention to the plot or the story at all? The rabbit has already explained that he needs Dante's awakened blood for the gate to open. This is why he's to set up all these hostages so that Dante can awaken his devil trigger. It's a pretty basic written and explained plan for the rabbit. How is this plan worse than the one you simplified? He needs Dante's awakened blood. How hard is it for you to understand a simple written and explained plan? Like, I don't see the confusion or the plot holes. How do you see the confusion? I'm genuinely baffled. I'm my mind is being blown.
Vice President Baines is here. He has to die. All right. Why isn't he dead? All of the other Darkcom people we have with us, witnesses, dead. Kill them. Just shoot them all. They all must die.
Like I've said already, the vice president's death does not matter. That is not part of the rabbit's plan. I mean, sure, they could have killed him, but another would just take charge anyway.
That leaves Dante. Kill Dante to execute him. Here's why. Twins, if you didn't know this, have the same DNA. All right? That means they have the exact same blood. Twins have the exact same blood. Okay? And we're friends with Dante's identical twin. His name is Virgil. Okay? And an episode from now, he will gladly give me his half of the amulet because he supports my cause. He's a freedom fighter for the Machian people. He loves us. Right? We're on his team. Right? He happily gives us his amulet. Like, we're cool with him. That's what I was saying earlier. If Virgil did end up taking the Force Edge, it's fine. Just ask him. Just ask him for it, and he'll give it to me. It's not that big of a deal. We're on his side, right? So, fucking kill this guy. Kill him. Go to Virgil. Hey, give me a sample of your blood, please. Why? So I can take down the wall and free the Machian people from their suffering. Dude, all right. You should have said that sooner. Bet. Here you go, bro. Here's a sample. Here's a vial. It's as simple as that. And Virgil already has the devil trigger unlocked. It is the same blood as Dante's because they have the same DNA. They are completely identical twins. That's it. It's as simple as that. Everybody on this plane should die.
I mean, I can understand what he's trying to say about the twins having the same DNA and them, like, almost being the same person. Unfortunately, however, that's just not the way it is written in the show. The way that the curse or prophecy is written is that in order to open the gate to the demon world, you need the Force Edge, both amulets, and both the Virgil and Dante's awakened blood. I understand that in the games it's different. Like, I get that. I understand in the games it's different. You need just Sparta's blood and the mortal priestess that was sacrificed 2,000 years ago. I get in the games it's different. Like, you didn't need Sparta and you didn't need Virgil and Dante's blood to do it. I get it was just Sparta's blood. Only one of them had to do it. But this is a different universe. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Plus, you can see at the end of the show, the rabbit does pour Virgil's blood on the Devil Sword Sparta. It doesn't work. But then when he stabs Dante, when he's dripping it and soaking it in his blood on the sword, then it opens the gate to hell. It sounds like Zero just doesn't accept the way the show is written and is just changed compared to the games. But it's not written bad though. It's still pretty accurate to the games where you still need both amulets and Sparta's bread. It's still accurate to that. It's just written a little differently, but it's not written in a bad way. It's just a different universe. So why is that so bad? Why does he think it's so bad that it's written a little differently?
We win. Okay? That's it. All right? The show sucks. The show is garbage.
That's pretty much the end of the video. Like I said, all of his points don't make any sense, and he puts no critical thinking or logic into the narrative or plot of the story. He doesn't actually question the reality of why the White Rabbit has to write his plans like this. Like, did he not see the White Rabbit's backstory? It makes sense and fits with the plot if you look at it from an understanding perspective. I just don't understand why he nitpicks at this show so much, and he has to make so many videos hating on it. It's been like a year since it's been out. If you don't like it, why do you gotta keep talking about it? If you don't think the show is good, okay, that's your opinion, but maybe you should reconsider watching it again from another perspective to try to at least understand the written narrative instead of just making these obnoxious points and criticisms that just don't make any sense. Stop blabbing about this nonsense already, please. But before I do end the video, I want to go over a couple more of his points and criticisms about the Season 2 trailer that came out recently. He mostly talks about the part where Mundus gives the Yamato to Virgil and why Virgil would willingly work with Mundus.
In the trailer, they mentioned how Virgil is working for Mundus, which is like kind of interesting. I don't know, like, would Virgil ever actually do that? Maybe he was brainwashed or something. I have no idea what the logistics of it are, but I just know that, like, willingly, Virgil would never do that. That would make absolutely no sense. They show that Mundus was the one that gave Virgil the Yamato. Like, that's where he got it. He didn't get it from his father. He got it from Mundus. Which, like, I don't know, I guess they changed up the origin stories. I just don't really like that at all. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all why Virgil would, like, let's assume he's not brainwashed. Like, if he's not brainwashed or manipulated, it doesn't make any sense why he would willingly work for Mundus. Like, he's the one responsible for his father dying, the person that he looked up the most important person in his life. You know, his parents are both dead because of Mundus. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But
Bruh. He's already criticizing the fact that Virgil is working with Mundus, even though Season 2 hasn't been released yet, and we don't have the answer for that question yet. Maybe instead of hating on the idea of it, instead, why not try to look at it from a perspective given the small context from the trailers? It's possible that Virgil probably didn't even know that Sparta is his father, because Dante didn't know that either from Season 1.
Why did half of the amulet that Sparta used to seal the rift between realms end up as a piece of your jewelry? The deadbeat father you never met, who abandoned your family without a thought, was the noble and exalted demon knight Sparta.
Right, Sparta. Sure thing. Can you believe this guy?
Plus, even if he did, how would he directly know that Sparta is alive or dead, or that Mundus killed him? Plus, how would Virgil also know that Mundus killed his mother? We didn't get to see Virgil's whole backstory on what he witnessed as a kid. And since Virgil is a kid, it's also possible that Mundus is just gaslighting Virgil and manipulating him by granting him a new home and giving him the Yamato to defend himself.
This is where it all started. That day Mother saved me and left you behind. The thing you don't know is, she tried to save you too. She kept searching and searching until I killed her.
And this is child Virgil, so it's pretty easy to gaslight him. It's pretty easy to gaslight a child.
Mundus has the Yamato. What does the Yamato do? What does the Yamato do when you slice the air with
It cuts portals.
Why does that break the whole anime?
It separates man from devil, and it cuts between worlds. It can cut a
Yes.
portal between the worlds. So if he had this,
yeah.
if he has this sword, why isn't Mundus, who wants to invade the human world, why is he not doing that? Why is he just sitting
Why
here?
didn't Virgil, who supports the rabbit's cause to let the Makai people into Earth and break the wall down, just give him the Yamato or use the Yamato to do that? Because it can cut portals the same way that it can in the games.
Okay, now this is actually the best question I've heard him ask. Because, yeah, that is a good question. Why wouldn't Mundus use the Yamato? And good news I have for that. I have the answer to that question, but you're not going to like it. But it fits. Let's go back to the games real quick. So during the aftermath of DMC 3, Virgil fights and loses to Mundus. And what does Mundus do with the Yamato? He breaks it. Why? Because it doesn't serve any purpose or usefulness to Mundus. Why? Well, let me explain. The Yamato can open small portals to the demon and human world, as shown, but it is not strong enough alone to open a giant portal to the human demon world. The Yamato needs some type of gate in order for it to work, because the Yamato acts like a key. The Yamato can also close giant gates, but it has never been stated that it can open giant portals alone without a gate.
That sword was used to separate our world from the demons.
Wait! Where are you going?
We need to sever the Clifod roots from the underworld itself. Then we'll seal the portal with the Yamato.
The only time the Yamato has opened a gate to the demon world is during DMC 4, when Agnes uses the Yamato to open that giant gate. Mundus needs the portal to be big in order for him to enter. This also applies the same to other big demons. This is why lesser demons always appear in the main human world, is because sometimes rifts or small portals appear here and there. and they are able to slip through because they're small. This is why the big demons can't slip through as easy. They need giant gates or big portals to enter. Plus, Mundus isn't as experienced to use the Yamato like Virgil has his entire life. So there's your answer of why Mundus probably wouldn't be able to use the Yamato to open a portal in Season 2. That's probably the best answer I could give you of why he wouldn't use the Yamato.
The show sucks. The show is garbage.
And there you have it. I think I've pretty much said everything I needed to say. Like I said, I enjoy the show. I think they did a good job with the writing and characters. I think they did. Of course, it's not perfect. Like, I have my own criticisms about it, and it definitely has flaws, some flaws in it. But it's Season 1, and I think it's proven to be pretty good, to me at least. Hey look, if you don't like the show, that's fine. That's completely your opinion. I'm perfectly fine with that. But don't hate or nitpick it with your thoughts and criticisms when they make no sense, like Zero's points. Like, for example, I don't like the reboot. I don't like how they changed the characters' personalities and how the story is written for them. I think what matters the most in adaptations is their personalities in the characters. Because people love the characters for what they are. The character is what makes the story good. So yeah, I don't like the reboot, but do you see me making hundreds of videos hating and nitpicking on it? No, because I don't care about it. I'm not into that. I mean, if you like the reboot, cool, that's you. Go for it. I just prefer the sassy, funny, and stylish Dante version. I enjoy the original Dante. And that's my take on a good adaptation, is the character and their personality. And that's why I like the adaptation show, because I think it does a good job on the characters and their personalities. I think it's mostly the same from the main games. But that's all I have to say for now. Thank you to anyone who has made it this long into the video, and I appreciate you all for listening, if you were. Let me know what you guys think about the show in Season 2 coming in a few weeks. What are your takes and criticisms about it? I would love to know, honestly. Let me know. Anyway, thank you all for watching and sticking around. Hopefully I'll see you all again in the future. Have a great day and take care. See ya.